It only took 3 seconds for a classroom full of laughter to turn into complete silence. 3 seconds. That's how long it took for one disrespectful act to change everything. Ms. Leena had been teaching for just 1 week at Riverside High. She was young, probably in her late 20s, confident, calm, and passionate about helping students grow. Her presence was quiet but strong. She didn't yell. She didn't belittle. She listened, and she taught with patience. But not everyone respected that. The school was known for its problem kids. The ones who tested boundaries, made teachers quit, and treated rules like suggestions. Ms. Leena knew this when she applied. She didn't come to run away from challenge. She came because she had lived through worse, and she wanted to be the kind of teacher she never had. But on her 5th day, during 4th period, that challenge walked in wearing sneakers and a smug grin. Tyrell and his group of friends had a reputation. Loud. Disruptive. No respect for authority. They weren't dumb, but they were angry. Angry at life, at home, at the system. And they took it out on anyone who looked like they didn't belong. Ms. Leena walked into class that day in a fitted professional dress, carrying her lesson plan and a hopeful smile. As she turned to write on the board, Tyrell whispered something to his friends and they all laughed. Loudly. She paused, turned, and calmly asked, "Is there something you'd like to share with the class?" "No, ma'am," Tyrell smirked. She nodded and returned to the board. That's when it happened. As she stepped forward to help a student with their desk work, Tyrell stood behind her and slapped her backside, loudly, with a sickening laugh that echoed across the room. Gasps filled the air. Some students laughed. Others froze. Ms. Leena didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't even flinch. She turned slowly, her eyes calm but deadly still. In one swift, fluid motion, before anyone had time to process. She planted her left foot, spun, and delivered a clean spinning kick straight to Tyrell's chest. He flew backward, crashing into a desk, completely winded and stunned. Silence. Complete silence. No one moved. No one breathed. Tyrell's friends stared, jaws dropped. One girl covered her mouth in disbelief. The boy groaned on the floor, clutching his ribs, confused and breathless. Ms. Leena straightened her dress, looked around the room, and said clearly, "Touch me again, and you'll leave in an ambulance." She turned to her desk, picked up her phone, and calmly called the principal. In minutes, security arrived. Tyrell was escorted out, still limping. His friends followed without a word. The rest of the students sat frozen in place, unsure what they had just witnessed, but knowing, for the first time, that they had crossed a line they couldn't come back from. There was an investigation, of course. And a video. One student had secretly recorded the entire thing on their phone. It went viral before the end of the day. Over 1 million views in 24 hours. The school board met. Ms. Leena was asked to speak. She told them the truth. Not just about what happened, but about what it meant. "I didn't come here to fight students," she said. "But I also didn't come here to be violated. You want teachers to stay in this system? Then protect them. Set the example. Let this generation learn that respect is not optional." They listened. Tyrell was suspended, then later transferred. His parents tried to press charges, until the video shut that down completely. It showed him clearly initiating everything. And Ms. Leena. She stayed. Not out of pride. But because she knew the students needed to see a woman who refused to be a victim. Over time, something incredible happened. Her classroom shifted. The kids who once mocked her began showing interest. They asked questions. They did their work. Not all of them, but enough to start a ripple. Some students apologized. Others admitted they had never seen an adult stand up for themselves without losing control. One girl said, "You made me feel like I can say no too." Another boy, quiet, usually angry, asked if she could teach him how to defend himself, not with violence, but with strength. And she did. Ms. Leena introduced a self-defense module during PE with the principal's support. Once a week, students, especially girls, joined her after school for a workshop she called Know Your Power. It wasn't just about fighting. It was about voice. Boundaries. Dignity. The school changed. Not overnight. But enough. Because of one moment. One kick. One teacher who said, enough. Moral of the story. Some people believe silence is weakness. Others think kindness invites disrespect. But when you stand with dignity, you don't just protect yourself, you teach others how to rise.